G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bare Necessities podcast. Another week, Samuel.
Another episode. I know how it works.
You're not supposed to cut me off. It's my line. Do I cut you off when you say cue it? No, I didn't think so.
You know what I will cut off? I'll cut off your mustache. Oh, wait.
Oh. Wait a minute.
You look very bare, like a baby's bottom.
Like a little chimpanzee I look right now. There's a little bit coming back already, you can see it. But yeah, mustacheless now, guys. So basically my whole personality is gone out the window with the mustache. So that's unfortunate.
We were thinking of creating an 18-man team of mustache players. Now that that's gone, now that your mustache is gone, I think
it's
that's
like, what's the point? It's got
like
no relevance.
Scott Lysett's probably not coming on the show now.
Yeah, because obviously, he decided that based on my mustache. So sorry, Scott, if you're watching this. Anyway, I have this new mic sort of setup going on here. I don't know if it's going to be any good, man. But
tell us if it's better or worse.
Yeah,
comment section, just like
in the comment section down below, man, and in the DMs. But we probably won't see it because we're just flat out in there. I'm just going to turn you up a little bit, man.
All right, I'll turn myself up as well.
I'm gonna.
Where did we come back from, Regis? We just came back from Venus Bay. I'm a little bit tired. I actually, about 45 minutes ago, I fell asleep on my chair for about 40 minutes. I kid you not. I just fucking passed out.
Yeah, I was sitting here like just on the PlayStation call before, and I was like proper dozing off.
Yeah.
Because we went to bed at what time did we go to bed last night?
Like 3:30.
And we had to get up. Well, we had to be out of there by 10. And we were up at 8.
Crack of dawn, really. Like the chickens were
pretty much didn't even sleep. Like we were just up all night, just being silly.
Like we're probably like a lot cooler than most people because we were just up so late, man.
Up so late, just doing silly things. But we'll get into that later.
I got a couple stories for you. I know everyone out there loves my working stories, and I've just got a couple here. I've got a new job working in Olympic Park. Anyway, I go into the break room, and in the break room you get 15 minutes to eat your food and just relax. So I buy myself a pie. I eat my pie, enjoy the pie. I look over and some bloke is diving into a raw avocado with a plastic spoon. What do we...
That's an interesting one. I am not the biggest... Avocado by itself, I can't do.
No, neither.
Because it's no offense, avocado, if you're listening right now, but you're like tasteless, man. Like it's tasteless.
Suck that avocado.
Like if you're spreading it on like your sourdough, which we've been through with Nab Deep, I think last week.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's all right. Or like, what did we had Eric, Zimmy. We all know him. Alex, he's
Dad.
Fan and member of the show, I suppose, behind the scenes sort of operator. He cooks a mean scrambled eggs, bacon. Well, Podsy was on the bacon. No, Podsy was on the bacon.
Podsy was on the bacon.
Yeah, and there was obviously a shortage of that once he'd finished with it. And a bit of avo as well from Eric, and it was actually really, really good. I'll give Eric that. I didn't tell him that at the time, but right now, Zim, I know you're listening because you listen to like all the episodes. It was pretty good, and we had guac with the nachos as well.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Props to you. Yeah, so shout out to that bloke for using a plastic.
But not shout out. Because you can't eat it by itself. And I hope he like snapped his plastic spoon in half. Have that. Have it.
In terms of other jobs, I recently started getting a job at working at St. Paul's Cathedral, like checking people in to do like
you already told us that, man. So do you
hold on.
Do you stand at the front like singing all the hymns and stuff? Body of Christ, man. No, that's okay. It's a bit different to that, man. Like that's like disrespectful. Anyway, go on. Okay. So you're a priest at St. Paul's.
So I'm checking people in, and me and my brother Liam were on entry, and you got to get people excited. Be like, come on down, come see the show, come join, yada yada yada. Anyway, and people, really easy to check in. You just scan the QR code, show me your vaccination certificate in there, have a good time. Some people are a bit more difficult. Oh, my phone's dead. Oh, I don't have my vaccination certificate on me. So they end up scrolling through their camera roll to find something. I saw some explicit pictures while someone was scrolling through their phone.
Oh no! Did they try to hide it, or they just sort of naturally?
It was one of those ones where they saw it, looked at me, and were like, "Oh no!" Just like got both fingers and started swiping.
Yeah, right.
Another situation is when it's a bit of a slow part of the night. Liam likes to bring out his chocolate-covered almonds. So Liam's eating his chocolate-covered almonds. He's like carrying it with one hand. And these people come up, and I'm like, you know what? He can have this. So I'm like, oh yeah, go to him. And he's like, oh. And he starts
I got
he starts licking his fingers. He's
Oh,
like,
sorry,
can I help you?
be with you in just one
I'll
moment.
be you the moment. He starts licking his fingers.
Hold on, Liam.
And Liam's big on his showmanship. So someone's walking past and he goes up to the railing and he goes, come on down. It's a great Christmas show. The bloke's like, I'm Jewish, mate. Leave me alone.
Was Liam say, oh,
Sorry. Let me just get back into my almonds.
Can you just confirm that Chrissy Stu actually got a shift over Liam at that joint?
You got to call up to the ones. There was a free Saturday night shift, and let's just say they were duking it out head to head.
Yeah.
Mono, and Christina got the shift. So congratulations to her. And last one I've got is a group of Kiwi blokes walked into like the area where you check in.
Like Maui,
yeah. Like like your big boys.
Okay.
I'm gonna butcher the accent, but
no,
Liam's like, got to see a vaccination certificate before you can come in. And he looks around and goes, well, fuck that. And he lifts up one of the railings and just moves it aside.
Get the way, Liam.
Get out the way, Liam.
Scrawny little rabbit. So Liam like went no fear, balls to the walls operation for him.
Yeah, he did.
Said, show me your certificate, and they said no.
Like
and
now,
grabbed his face and moved him to the side.
Just picked him up from the top of the head and moved him.
Well, Liam, he's trying to do his job, man.
All right, I know everyone loves those working stories.
Everyone loves them.
One thing I wanted to. Oh, you wanna?
Well,
no, maybe
one thing you wanted to that's your favorite thing to say. Anyway,
it is.
What's this one thing you wanted to say?
It's definitely like 4 things I want to say.
Okay, well, so for like 4 things you want to say are go for
throughout the week, I was mowing some grass and I was like, fuck, this brings me some nostalgia. Because you know when you like smell freshly mown grass, it takes you back a bit, doesn't it? Because it's just nice smells. So I want to talk a bit about nostalgia.
Okay.
Nostalgia.
I'll get really close to the mic here. Is that like
You're not close enough. Do you have any like just
I was touching it.
Nostalgia moments you want to share with me and the listeners? I can give you an example of mine.
All right, yeah, go.
So when I smell freshly mown grass, as a kid, I used to be like, if this thing smells that good, surely it tastes just as good.
Oh no.
So I used to get on all fours and eat some of the grass.
Oh, so you didn't pick it up, you were actually cowing it.
It's one of those operations where you eat it and you're like, this doesn't taste that good. And then you smell it again, you're like, let's give it another crack.
Like maybe second time round.
Maybe second.
Third time's a charm, etc., etc. Yeah.
Another one I've got. Oh, you go. Yep.
No, when I think of sometimes when I walk the dog, people have freshly mowed their lawns and there's that smell. And when I think of that smell, it just makes me think of cricket.
Just like batting in under 11s, just having a field day.
Like batting on the weekend, man, because like I still play. I don't know. I don't think you play sport anymore, but I still keep up with that sort of stuff. So, keep going.
You'll still keep it fit. Playing the DS, I think there was nothing better than like. I'd rather have a DS than a PlayStation. I reckon.
Well,
in my humble opinion, there's better games in my opinion. Anyway,
are you saying right now, or are you saying like in your whole life you preferred playing the DS?
In my whole life, if I had to pick a console to play, I reckon I'd pick the DS. The old school DS. There's nothing better than hiding it under your pillow, making sure the sound's down, and your parents walk in, you're like, be quiet, Mario.
What do you mean there's nothing better than that? That's the most anxious.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That was like your sort of adrenaline rush.
So yeah, exactly.
But like, if you compare your DS, you're playing alone, you're playing 50cc Mario Kart by yourself, okay, compared to getting on the PlayStation call and hearing Pudsey crack at Uno because he's in the No Mate Society, which will be brought up at a different time. You're picking the DS over that.
Well, I'm in the No Mate Society, so that's probably why.
We should probably talk about that.
The No Mate Society?
Well, yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's probably not our place, but Ray Hazard has made Braden, who was on episode 2, I think it was our first guest.
He was.
Has made this thing called the No Mate Society, where we don't really know if he's like the leader of it or if he's like is he a no mate operator? If
it's like Squid Game, you just don't know if he's in it, if he's leading
it's like
it.
a conflict of interest.
It's like so many stipulations.
So many stipulations, but like you do something bad, you get put in the No Mate Society. But it's going to get to the point where there's that many people in the no mate society that everyone's going to have mates in the no mate
Everyone's
society.
going to turn on him.
Yeah, and then we're going to turn on him, jump the fence, grab the key, lock
Let
it,
me
and
out.
say, "Hey, you're the only one in the no mate society." So, I mean, it's an interesting proposition, but we're all you, me, and Podsy are in it right now.
Well, I was in it for about a month without actually having
without
a reason.
explanation.
Yeah. So Podsy's in there because he played a draw 4 as his last card to win the game.
Yeah, and
And
I did a change color. So
you did a wild card.
I'm a felon of some description.
You should be locked up.
Locked up, and we're supposed to swallow the key, so we won't be getting out anytime soon. You had something else to say?
Another bit of nostalgia was did you ever like go on like when you were probably like 7, 8 to 12 region or 6 to 12 region, and you go with your parents to like Ocean Grove or somewhere along the coast, and you know there's just
not really actually, but anyway.
Okay, well there's always nice.
Like,
there's nothing better. Okay,
just keep going, man. Sorry.
All right, there was nothing better than going.
Don't interrupt you. Like,
fuck you. There's nothing better than going to a caravan park, running around all day bare feet, and then it's like seeing some fireworks at the end of the day.
Well, I remember I was probably about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
This mic is just not staying like sit. Anyway, I was about 10 or 11, and we went to Bright, I think. Not sure really where that is these days, but anyway, we went there to a caravan park. And like when you're little, how good is it when you're like away for like half a week or a week, and you meet like your best mate for life at the caravan park, and like you hang out with them for a week, and then you gotta leave, and that's the end of that. I met this bloke that I played cricket with the whole time while we were down there, and I had so much fun. And then we get to leave, and like that was it.
Do you actually know his name?
No, I can't remember it. I just remember. I remember he was pretty good. So we were actually like really battling it out. But at the end of the day, we'd sit down and have like a little red cordial together.
You have like a little Sprite or something.
And just talk about it. Yeah, it was great. This is really annoying me
now. One thing I wanted before we go on to the next point, I had a story. Every summer or whenever it needs to be done, I mow the front of our lawn and the front of the lady next door's lawn, her backyard, front yard. She's like 92, so she can't really do much. Anyway, so before we went away, I had to mow her lawn, and it was fucked. Because it was so long. It was ridiculous. Like I was already having a bad day because it was really hot and the grass was so long. It was taking forever. Anyway, so I got a story. I've written it down.
Okay.
So as I've done her front yard and like out the front of her house, I go push the mower down to the side of her house and towards the backyard. And let me tell you, that was a fucking journey getting there. It's like the Amazon fucking rainforest back there. Nothing gets done. No sort of house maintenance at all. Anyway.
You say she lives by herself?
Yeah.
Does she have like people that come in and like do stuff for her?
I'll get
like
to that.
Carers and that sort of shit.
I'll get to that. She doesn't really, but anyway, I give her a muffin here and there.
Oh, nice.
So basically, I'm just like the best person ever.
Yeah, good books, because obviously you stole her. Just for all the listeners at home, Samuel actually stole her walking stick at some point, and she came looking for it, and Samuel wouldn't give it back. He was like standing in the window, like doing funny faces, waving it in her face. And now he's obviously trying to get back in her good books by giving her muffins.
Anyway, so I'm mowing her front lawn, and she just sits down, and like I'm mowing, like, and she's trying to talk to me, like, no, I'm trying to mow, and she just watches me, which is probably like the most awkward feeling ever. It's just weird. Anyway, so as I go to her backyard, I go to the back, and there's a dead rat, like right on the entrance to her backyard, like just looking at me. There's a dead rat, and I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, fuck this. No, I'm not happy. I was actually really upset. So I called Dad. I was like, Dad, get down here now.
Dad, oh my God.
Anyway, so Dad comes down, and he's like, oh, is the grass too long? Do you need me to help you push the mower? I'm like, no, look. And he's like, oh, dead rat. So what he does is he gets an empty pot plant, and he scoops it up. He scoops it up, takes him a few turns. I'm really fucking thrown up. And as he's coming back to me, he scooped up in a way in which the tail's still hanging out.
So it's like, Drew, if you tilt that at a certain angle, that thing's flopping back on the floor, and you're standing there for 15 minutes trying to scoop it back up. Drew, man.
Anyway, I was so sick. I vomited all over her backyard.
You spewed to the dead rat.
I did. I vomited, mowed up the lawn, then collected my 55, and I was out. Fucking never to be seen again.
Do you have to ask her for the money at the end? Is it ever like, oh, I'm finished now, can you pay me, sort of thing?
No, that's always the worst. Normally she's pretty good, but there's always like a 5-minute convo at the end. And this is what I'm saying. She's like, oh, you're a good boy, oh, such a good boy.
Well, obviously you got good bite so like
I wait,
good,
I got
boy.
good bar.
Good
But I'm
bite.
pretty, she normally gives me 50, but I think she gave me the extra 5 for the dead rat consolation.
All right. So she saw it.
Well, I heard Dad
Or
say
she just knew it was down there the whole time. She just didn't want to get it, so she thought, I'll let you.
let me
EM
fetch
Drew.
it.
And obviously he's EM Drew for a reason because he's good with the equipment.
Equipment manager.
So why don't you Drew there?
All right. One thing I want to bring up was you really hate this, and you brought this up all week and the week before. People on Instagram and Snapchat keep on putting up their middle finger when they're posing for a photo.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an explicit show, so sorry to any of the kids watching right now. But it's like one of these ones with like the thumb out as
With
well.
the thumb out, so you're cooler with the thumb out.
Yeah,
is
and
my
like.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say right now, Bray Hazard, I know you're listening to this. When you did that haircut thing, there was no need for the middle finger and the thumb on the side. You could have done anything else. Anything else.
You could have given me a thumbs up, one of those like cool surfer dudes,
like shaka,
poses.
like the shaka.
Shaka,
or like put the bull horns
The
on
bull
or something.
horns.
Man. Like the but I took it personally. When that middle finger gets put up, it's like, why?
Like, what have I done to deserve this? I just want to like your photo, mate. Might even give it a comment, but no, you've given me the finger. So fuck you.
Yeah, it's a meme now though. We've sort of transferred into a meme, which is good.
Yeah, so that's good. Like we just take things like that are really like
We
mean
just take
against
things
us.
and make it funny
Yeah.
naturally without even having to try, which is so blows my mind a bit sometimes. Anyway.
Another thing that ticks me off is
one more thing that ticks you off, please. What is it?
posting at concerts in terms of videos.
What's wrong with that?
We can't hear what this person is singing. Why are you giving it to us? You're giving us 50 seconds of dead sound and lights. You're going to give me a fucking seizure.
No, I thought if you can hear the song and hear
I'll
like
give it to you.
people singing and stuff, then that's cool. But if your hand is over the mic,
Yeah.
and no one can hear anything, and you're like going all over the place, then
like congratulations, you paid $120 just to look cooler than me.
yeah, like good on you. But
So
I don't
nice.
mind. I don't mind it if you can actually hear what's going on and like
Yeah.
hear the people singing and stuff like that.
I don't, but like if you're going to post it as well, I want to hear the person singing. I don't want to hear you singing in the background.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. I think if you're going to hold the phone up, stop singing for the time that you're
Just for
recording.
this, yeah.
Then when you're done, get back to it, man. Because I don't want to hear you monotonous. And I'm speaking for myself here too. You're okay. Sometimes I'm on camera duty for singing happy birthdays. And I'm like,
and all they can hear is you.
I mean, yeah, like I can't. I'm not singing when I got the camera out, I'm not singing. So there's a tip for all the camera singers out there.
Just another thing.
Oh, and just on this other note that I've got here.
Just Spotify wrap-ups came out yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. So it's like, but they were on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
you didn't post yours, I didn't post mine. So well done for that. Unless you posted
good
somewhere
job.
that I didn't see, like on your Facebook story or something. But
I'll get it out there somewhere. Like I feel, you know what I feel like it is. People are putting up their Spotify wrap-ups just to show people like I'm like really like out there and like just because I listen to so much more music than you.
To be fair, I actually haven't seen a Spotify Wrapped so far that has like really basic stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
It's the people that listen and know they listen to stuff that maybe other people don't listen to, and they're putting it on there saying, here's my music taste. It's a bit more
different, like, and out there. I'm sure we'll see that over the coming
I should probably
days.
like post mine because like I have that really different sort of taste because I listen to like everything, man. Because someone who I think Brayden
Don't do
or
it.
Eric had a ridiculous number on like because it has the song you played the most and
was
how many
me.
times you played that song, and it was huge. And then when it came to mine, it was like 30 times I played that song.
Yeah, I had 400 for time.
That's so bad.
You know what it is because it's got no lyrics. It's just easy to listen to. But yeah, I'm having none of people posting. Oh, I'm like so different and out there, and just like acknowledge me, please.
How many How many minutes do you have total?
I think 130,000.
And most of that would be, well, that Bill Simmons podcast, man. That'd be really broken up. To say that every time. No, that goes for some time. But do you have Spotify on like literally every time you get in the car?
Yeah, like I will never not have something going on Spotify when I'm driving, or literally if I'm anywhere.
Yeah. See, I got 16,000, I think. And I'm thinking now, and there really isn't many times where I'm just sitting here like listening to music. Even on the PlayStation, not really listening. It's only when I go like in the shower or I'm studying or something like that. So 16,000.
Actually, while we're here, do you want to give us your top five?
My top 5 artists.
Do you want me artists and songs if you want?
Okay, well, you're probably not gonna like know my songs because they're like a bit out of your like bracket. I'm not sure why I've got his Instagram for this because obviously I didn't put it on my story. So what is that?
That was me getting it up. So mine, while you try and find yours, because I'm actually not sure what mine is.
Yeah, go, man.
Do we just cut this bit out while we find it?
No, I've got it. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm.
Oh, then go. You go.
I'm just skimming through it, man. But I know you. Is it at the end? It's gonna be at the end, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it would.
Oh, here we go. All right. My top artists. Number 1 was Kanye, and I think Kanye did it last year as well. So I don't.
Yay.
Or yay, but it says Kanye on Spotify, so I'm going to copy that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Sam Fender. Sam Fender's a guy from Newcastle in the UK. Does some good tunes. If you're really like into your music like I am, you'd know exactly who he is. If you don't know him, you're obviously...
I look like an idiot, don't I?
You're not well equipped. My 3rd was Will Smith, which I thought was an interesting one, but I just love...
jiggy with it.
You're getting jiggy with it. Your Men in Black, those sorts of
things.
That's good. Number 4, Elvis Presley. I thought...
Yeah.
When I saw that come up, I was like, man, that feels good. When you say like one of the all-time greats in your top 5.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
You know you're doing something right. And then number 5 was J. Cole, who...
I don't know. Well, that's just...
J. Cole was like my thing a couple of years ago, and I'm not sure how he's managed to slip into the number 5 here, but he has. So well done to Jay, man.
Do you want to quickly give us your 5 songs?
No, I want your artist first.
Fuck you.
Do you have them or you just...
Yeah, I got them right here. No, I got them right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5, Green Day. Number 4, Fall Out Boy. Congratulations to those two. They were in there last year.
Okay, nice. Back to back.
Yep. Number 3, Hans Zimmer. He's not an actual singer. He's a composer.
Oh, so he does like all the movie soundtracks, man.
It's all the movie soundtracks. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about the genre in a minute. Yeah, go on.
And skipping number 2.
Well, who's number 2, man? Because everyone's wondering now that you've said it. Like, now that you mentioned it, man.
Number 2 is Big Time Rush. I challenge anyone to listen to like 5 of their songs and be like, they're actually not bad.
Loser.
Anyway, and number one is Imagine Dragons. They were number 1 last year, so round of applause.
So they've done well. So Kanye and Imagine Dragons have gone back to back.
Well done.
That's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive.
Just before we do the songs, my genre was dance pop, so that's really where I've taken mine. And yours was, what was yours?
Soundtrack.
Yeah, nice. And not actually music. Yeah, cool. Okay, fair enough. So my songs are number 1, Hypersonic Missiles by Sam Fender, really good tune. Number 2, Be About You. I think that's by Winston Surfshirt, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good tune. Number 3, 24 by Kanye. It's on the new album Donda. That's not so new anymore. Number 4, Lemonade. I can't remember who's in it. I think Polo G might be in it. It's a little like rappy, like I wish my
like a little bounce
complexion was a bit darker sort of thing, because we love black culture.
Yeah.
Even though is Polo G black? Yeah, probably. And Bound by
Falling in Love.
It's Bound. It's not Bound 2.
Oh,
like
now I look like an idiot.
You know it's what you're... Wait.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it was what you're singing, but the lady voice.
Yeah.
That song, the high pitched lady voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole bit with the chicks. That that's the original of it. That I think Kanye might have got sued for that. Fun fact.
You think you would have? Shout out to Vanilla Ice for ripping off Under Pressure.
Yeah, and that could be a guess that track coming up
Could we
soon.
guess
So
that
anyone
track?
listening right now that might be coming up on the show, just a word of warning. All right,
All
go.
right, top 5 songs. I find it interesting, just really quickly. I had Imagine Dragons as my top artist, and none of their songs made it in there. Anyway, don't know how this song got in there, but throwback. DJ Got Us Falling in Love Again, number 5. Protectors of the Earth and Heart of Courage. They're 2 soundtracks. They're 2 songs from a soundtrack. Life is a Highway.
Yeah, nice.
Well done, well done.
That's a good one.
And Time. That was the song I listened to 400 times.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Just flat out doing time stuff.
I feel like this is going to be a really long show, man.
You reckon?
Because
you know why?
We haven't even started speaking about what we should be speaking about.
Do you want to get into it?
And you know what that is? We've gone away. We went away, Sam, didn't we? And
We
I'm
did
not
go
talking
away.
you and me. I'm talking about Jom, like Jom City.
Jom preseason. Guess it.
Guess it. Ta-da. So it was you, me, Bray Hazard, Zimmy, Podsy, Parksy, and Geordie Stew. Exactly.
God, that is a mix of people.
All of which have been on the show so far. So if you're
Well
listening
done
right
to
now and you're not sure who we've referenced, that's Braden, Alex, Podsy or Ethan, Michael, Jordan, and us 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
No Tommy Braham, unfortunately. Big out. Big
Huge
out.
out. Managed? What are we giving him?
What?
Managed? Is he managed? Illness? Injury?
I think he was just flat out, if that's one of the
All right,
options.
we'll write flat out then.
Just flat out. But hopefully he can join us next time, because there will be a next time after that.
There will
You're
be.
thinking after what? Oh, come on.
Oh, God.
So
Yeah, get your notebook out.
yeah, I've got the notebook out, obviously, just looking at this. I don't know where to start, to be honest. So we went to Venus Bay, which from us is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a hike. I was with Bray Hazard and Zimmy on the ride there for half of it until we got to Porto, and I got me chips and jumped in Michael's big fuck off truck.
Big ute.
And then we just belted tunes all the way there.
We did.
And then we got there. Well, what was your first impressions when you saw the joint? Because I've been there before. I went last summer.
I really liked it. I liked how spacious it was. I like how there was 2 lounge rooms. There was one at the front, one at the back. I thought that was really good.
That was cool.
And there was enough beds for everyone, which was really nice. But overall, I really liked it. And it was close to the beach, which was handy.
Well, that was a massive thing for us, was the beach, and we weren't sure about the weather and that sort of thing. But I think the weather was actually pretty much as good as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
It was pretty warm. We went down. We did some what's it called? Boogie boarding.
Boogie boarding. We got the boards out.
Boogied and boarded and did all that. Had a tennis ball. Hit a few people with that. It was good fun.
Can I just say, I think Zim got a concussion. I don't know if you heard this. Zim reckons he got a concussion.
I heard him say that. Yeah. He was on FaceTime with one of his mates, and he was saying about his concussion.
After the first day of boogie boarding, it was like 3:30 at night. I go to the bathroom, and as I'm coming back,
Oh, so this was at the house.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant like out at sea. You hear the tennis ball.
Oh. Zim goes to Braden. Oh, I think I got a concussion today. And Braden's like, how'd you do that? Oh, one of the boards hit me right in the head.
Okay, well, to be fair, I was like a fair way back from like you guys when you had the boogie boards and I didn't at one stage.
Yeah.
And you were flying, and there was a couple of times I did have to dive out of the way because Michael was like steaming at me.
And watch out.
It was one of
on
those
his
ones.
board.
But on that first day, well, I'm pretty sure it was the first day.
Yeah.
Somebody lost something.
Was it your glasses in the sea? No.
Was it? Well, it was. It was my glasses.
But you found them.
And I'm not sure how that happened. Because it's like is it a paradox or whatever they call it? Where it's like, I don't have my glasses. I've lost my glasses, but I was the one that found them without my glasses to see my glasses.
There's something in that. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the water isn't exactly crystal clear. So how I've done that, I'm not really sure. But well done to me. Anyway, Podsy. Okay, he's wearing his cute little. Why have I got?
He's the brother just started the voice chat.
Yeah, that and
Who knows?
Got Spotify on. Podsy's lost his undies.
His knickers.
His red knickers. Podsy had his red knickers on. And at one, I remember him saying to me, "I've lost him," while we were out there.
And we're
I was
like, no,
"Ah."
Pudsey.
I was like, "Good one." And then I think we're walking out, and his shorts are slipping down a bit. And I'm like, "Puds, hoist the sails, mate. I can see a canyon. I can see a canyon." And he comes up to me and he says something along the lines of, I lost my undies. And I was like, "I know you said before." And he was like, "No, I really lost my
No,
undies."
really lost me undies.
So Buzzy, somehow his undies have come down and slipped off while his board
Like his
shorts or whatever
pants, yeah.
were on over the top. So unless he's farted or something and it's burnt a hole in him and they've just slipped off his leg, I don't know how you've lost your undies, Buzzy, if I'm honest.
Acid farts.
Pudsy's just releasing all sorts. So Pudsy's lost undies. They're out at sea in Venus Bay.
They're
We're
still
expecting them to
there.
wash up somewhere. But
Some
something.
little kids could be like, Mom, what's
Mum,
this?
look what I got. Oh, fisherman's just. Oh, I got something big.
Oh, God. What's he on?
Pudsy's red knickers. Whoa. So yeah, there was that. And while we were at the beach,
Me,
my friend, pal.
dude.
Oh no, I just gone to twizzle my mustache again. Live on air. Oh yeah, that's bad.
It's not there.
It's not there. You pulled out the Rip Curl Rashi.
Yes.
And so
very
you're
good.
obviously a big advocate for the Rip Curl Rashi.
So
Because I
handy.
think Braden had a Rip Curl Rashi.
He had a peak rash. He didn't bring it. Bought a Rip Curl Rashi. Yeah.
Yes. And I think someone else had Rip Curl.
Podsy had a long sleeve Rashi. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was Rip Curl though.
So, and I didn't really picture you as one to like get the Rashi out, man. So can you tell us why you did that?
The beach is so fucking overrated, man.
It was the first day you didn't have it, I don't think, did you?
No, I did. I wore it the first day. I said going into the game that I was going to wear a Rashi because I did not want to get sunburned. It's the last thing I wanted.
Okay, but like
did I get sunburned?
Everyone got sunburned.
Did I win? Didn't think so. Wait.
You didn't think so. Absolutely. So the Rip Curl Rashi, well done to those who wore that. And I'm really scared about this mic situation right now, man.
You sound pretty good.
I say it every week, but this mic, because like I'm all about like getting it right.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm just not, man.
Well, I've just been looking at a blue light on you for most of that.
Yeah, this is like pretty cool. I like blue light disco, sort of year 6 sort of operation.
Yeah. So that's the first night. Posy lost his undies. The Rashis were out.
Yeah.
And there was
the undies was the first night, wasn't it?
Yeah, undies was the first night.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. Second night, we panned to the second day. What did we do second day?
Well, that was when hide and seek started. Actually, that night. Anyway, the second day was
Like, can I just quickly shout out? We were going out to a pub that night, which we thought would be packed.
Zim thought it was packed even when we got there.
And Aiden's gone, let me get my cologne on. Let me do my hair. Guys, don't touch me. I need to be in the zone.
Michael was like hyping me up, and I was like, I'm ready to go tonight. Like, this
He's ready to go.
time.
And we rock up, and Zim's like, yo, it's packed. It's packed.
It's like packed.
And we walk in there, and it's a retirement village.
There's no one in there. There's like a couple of 70-year-olds, and that's about it. Like, what are you talking about, Zim? Like, everyone's just flat out, like, it's packed in there, man. We walk in, and it's like, there's no one there. We get to order straight away. Our food comes pretty quickly. And
the food comes within like 7 minutes. That's how you know.
What are you doing, Zimmer?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a complete flop. And at that point, when that happened, it was sort of like, what's the point in continuing this trip? If something like that, get ready for all that, and then, we get shot down. So what's the point? We'll get on to that.
So we go back to the house.
Last night we'll come around to, because that's a long part of this podcast, that last night.
It is. So we get to the second night.
And it's
SOS.
I don't know. Yeah. Was that? But that was. But okay. SOS. Okay. Let me just. SOS. You're probably thinking, oh, SOS. They got stuck on the beach. Or something. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks-esque Madagascar. You're thinking. No. SOS is Siege of Spirits.
Siege of Spirits.
And if you say it too quickly, it sounds like Seizure Spirits. So just be careful. You want to.
It's basically what you get if you win the game.
Yes, we'll get to that in a minute. So we had 9 drinks each, I think.
Yep.
Between 7 of us. So what's that? 63.
Correct.
Drinks.
Yep.
So I still got it, man. A couple of years out of school, still got it. 63 drinks we had on the second night. between us, which is actually a pretty good effort considering. Wait, actually, no, we didn't drink all of them, did we? Some of us only got halfway through ours. But anyway, you get 9 drinks, and there's a mix. There's pretty even mix between all of them. We did a little trading period where you could trade off the drinks you don't want. Me and Samuel don't like beer, so we're looking to get, your Jack Daniels and your Jim Beams in return. Your Jim Beans, yeah. And then it's basically who can drink all 9 drinks the quickest. And Samuel's just allergic to seizure spirits, so fair enough.
Sneezed off camera, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to drink all your drinks first, basically.
First,
but the aim of it, I think, coming into it, I thought, we'll drink, but it'll be more about the chat.
Mm.
And then we started, and I realized absolutely not. Like
And
Michael
Parksy
and
and
Jordan
Stu.
started plowing through, and we're all looking at each other like, "What are we doing?" Pudsey, me, and Sam are sipping from Cam, Zim, and Grace Mazza are like, I think they were like trying, but not really.
Yeah.
And then it just got to the point where me, Braden, you, Zim, and Pudsey were just watching the other two go at it head to head. And I tell you what, it wasn't
dull.
It wasn't a smashing. It was head to head all the way. And Michael had it. He had half a cruiser to drink, and he was looking at me like dead in the eyes, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And Stu's like sipping down his what's it called? -196.
-196, yeah.
Yeah. It was sucking down that pretty quickly. Because it went Stu, Michael, and they're just passing it off. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Stu's sitting down at -196. Michael's sitting there, watermelon guava cruiser or whatever it was in his left hand, staring me in the eyes. There's about
I'm not going to finish.
Half of it left. I'm not going to finish. Oh, Michael, it's just after the cruiser, man. So I'm not going to finish. And then, this is where things turn for the worst. So Michael goes, so I'm not going to finish, to I'm going to spew, right? And so he takes off, okay? And so to get in the house, there's a fly screen door, and then there's the actual slide door, the glass slide door, okay? The glass slide door's open because it was actually really hot in there. So we thought we'll get some nice fresh air in through the fly screen. And Michael bolted to the front door. And you'd think, okay, he's going to slide open the thing. He's going to get over the ledge of the balcony thing and just spew everywhere. Get his little chicken chunks out. Absolutely not. He's gone balls to the wall straight through the fly screen.
He's even shouldered the fly screen.
It's not even like slightly off the hinges. It's fully off the hinges. The whole thing just, Michael just runs straight into it. And the whole thing just gone onto the floor. And everyone's like, oh no. And then Michael got over, spewed his chicken chunks, and we're all standing there, hands on hips, looking at the fly screen on the floor.
How the fuck are we going to fix this?
And I don't think Michael's realised what he's done either at that point. But anyway.
While Parksy's spitting chunks, Stu in the meantime's like, I got to come to a lead here, because once you spew before you finish all your drinks, you're disqualified. You're done.
Yeah, it's over.
You're finished. You're done. Anyway, so we got commemoration of Stu finishing at the 1 hour, 6 minute, 24 second mark. So right on to Stu.
It's pretty impressive.
It actually is very impressive.
It's really impressive. And then this is where he sort of paid the ultimate price. Well, we paid the ultimate price for him paying the ultimate price.
My feet paid the ultimate price. My socks.
So then we turned. So Geordie Stew wins.
Well done.
Michael disqualified because he spews chunks. The rest of us are just like, we're just going to hang out for the rest of the night. We're not going to try to finish this.
Yeah.
So we're just doing that. We're hanging out. We chat for a bit. A lot of chat going on, bits and pieces. Do we go?
Was that the night we went to the beach and Parksy was running around his underwear?
The first night was when Parksy was running around his underwear.
Yeah, we couldn't. Just a quick. Sorry, I just want to chuck this in there. We went to the beach and Parksy was really off his head.
And he's Vegemite jocks on.
And he's Vegemite jocks on. And we lost him. And everyone's looking around like, "Where's Parksy? We lost Parksy. We can't lose a drunk person." And he's like, "Yeah!" And just starts running down the hill. And he's going to rock.
This is after This is after he's walking up the hill towards the beach, and I'm like, we're like linking arms walking up, and I'm like half out of it, and he's fully out of it, and he's talking about like all the all the constellations and stuff above us. So like, that's Orion, that's Orion's belt, and see those? That's Orion's sword, and I'm like, wow,
You're not a sword.
you're not a sword. And I've got like a 50-second video of him just talking about stars, and I'm like, yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. So then I think we come back down.
Yeah.
And then everyone comes, and then we go again to the beach.
Yeah.
But Michael's obviously a bit slow, and I don't think anyone can be bothered waiting for him. So we're all on the beach. I think the tunes are going. And then we're like, oh, where's Michael? Where is he? He's got to be here anytime.
We've lost him.
And then you can see his little mushroom cut come from over the top of the hill. He just screams and he starts bolting down the hill in his Vegemite jocks. And he trips on something and starts spiraling across the sand. Oh, God, poor Michael. Anyway, he's ended up with a big, I think that's where he got his cut, the big old cut on his
The
shoulder.
big old cut on his shoulder, yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, so that was the first night. Second night, where were we?
Well, the second night was the fly screen. Me and Zim tried really hard to get it back on, and we got so close. And then Michael basically did it himself somehow. I was like kicking it, so I kind of helped him a bit. Probably did like half of it, but anyway. And that's the night when Stu and Parksy were like planking and doing all that sort of stuff.
Ah, yeah.
You were in the back room for most of that.
Was I playing ping pong? Yeah. But then you know what happened after that? I came out and I was like, boys, let's play some hide and seek.
Was that your idea?
That was my idea.
Yeah, well done. So we play hide and seek. Did we start with the lights off?
We started with the lights off. We started with lights off full blast on your phone.
Phone flashlight, wasn't it?
Oh, it was phone flashlight. You're right.
Well, phone flashlight, and then we realized this is a bit easy because the flashlights these days are pretty good. Then we went with full brightness on your home screen.
Yeah.
And even that was pretty easy. And then we went to
low brightness,
lowest brightness.
On the home screen.
We were still doing pretty well with the lowest brightness. Like kudos to like the Seekers, man, because we like smashed it. And then we said, you know what, we're going to do it pitch black. No phones, put them away.
Can't say shit.
Yeah. And I'm like pretty much almost completely out of it at this point. And I'm seeking because I was like enjoying seeking because I was like talking to myself and stuff. And it was like, I don't know, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I've walked into, well, Geordie Stu's gone to bed. Okay.
So he's had a big night. He's won Siege of Spirits. He's earned his well-earned rest.
There's the main room, and there's a hallway that just runs all the way down to the back of the house. And there's rooms on each side of that hallway. And Geordie Stu's basically in the middle room on one of the sides of the hallway.
Yeah.
On the right side of the hallway when you're walking towards the back. So I've walked in, I've gone all the way to the back, I've searched. I don't think I might have found someone at that point.
Me.
I think I found you.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you were doing, but you were behind me.
I was behind the door.
Yeah, but I'm not sure why you went there when I got to this next bit, which we'll get to in a sec. But yeah, I found you. Yeah, smacked me in the head and you pissed yourself. And then
a little.
And then I think Posy was under the table that whole time or something. Anyway, so we come out. Joy's still asleep. But I've only found Sam at this point, and it's been a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And then I hear this noise. It's like someone's turned the tap on at the front in the main room where the kitchen is. And I've heard it. I'm like, oh, very funny. Someone's trying to bait me out. You know, I'll go get him now. You know, I'm the seeker. There's someone in the kitchen. I'm going to get him. So I'm walking. I'm bounding towards the kitchen, and I'm coming.
Bounding.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I'm bounding towards the kitchen, but then I stop and realize this running tap is coming from Geordie Stu's room. And I'm listening, and I'm out of it, so I don't really know what's going on. I'm like, since when did they have a bathroom? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so I'm listening to it. And
leaky faucet.
As it stops, that noise, I feel my feet getting a bit wet. And I'm like, oh no, someone's left the tap on, and we're now flooding the house or something.
Get your goggles on.
And I'm like stomping around in a puddle underneath me. And I open the door slowly, and Geordie Stu stumbles out, stiff arms me straight to the chest, like doesn't miss, and I like slip in the piss as he stiff arms me, and he says, fuck you. And then starts walking along the hallway, and I'm holding my chest because I'm like, whoa. And like my feet are covered in piss. I'm standing in his puddle that I almost just slipped in, and he's just walked all the way to the couch, like piss dribbling down the hall. Anyway, big piss spot on the carpet, and the back of the door is just
Running.
dripping in piss. So Geordie Stew's just pissed everywhere. Sorry, Geordie Stew, if you didn't want us to say that, but we warned you. So Geordie Stew's pissed everywhere.
And then you called me, you're like, guys, there's a puddle in the hallway. I'm like, what are you talking about? And as I come bounding in, I'm like, oh, why are my socks wet?
Why are my socks wet?
And I've stepped in the piss.
God
and
damn
then we've
it.
gone, Michael,
Michael.
pissed all over the hallway. And as he comes flying in, he's like, where? And he's stepping in as well, splashing around.
So we're all like splashing in the urine bottles, all of us. But we did a good job of cleaning it up. So that happened. We're all splashing around in the puddle, having time of our lives. And
but that floaty's on. The rash is on.
And then I think we just made the decision, we've got to clean this up. Michael gets the mop and bucket, does a pretty good job.
Well done, Michael.
Geordie Stew's just flat out done on the couch at the front. And that's pretty much where it ended, I think.
Yeah, no, it kind of dampened everyone's, like, no pun intended, but kind of dampened everyone's mood.
It was like thanks, Geordie Stew, you've just pissed everywhere, and now like you've stopped the flow of the game.
Nice.
And so we just I've done that by accident as well.
Yeah,
so
no, that was good. That was good.
Dampened, and he's stopped the flow of the game. So we called it there, I think. So that was that.
That was basically the end of night 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Geordie Stew wins SOS. Michael spews and breaks the fly screen. Geordie Stew pisses everywhere. We're slipping in it, and we rock up to the pub, and Zim's like, "Oh, it's like packed, like proper packed." And we walk in, and there's about 8 people in there, all of which are retired.
Correct. Day 3 now.
Day 3. God, it's just a big blur for me, man. So if you want to run us through it, was that the eggs and bacon and Havo day?
No, that was pancake day.
That was pancake day. So we're watching the Knicks.
Yeah, Knicks versus Nets. That was pretty fun.
We're watching the basketball. It was a good game of basketball in the morning.
Yep.
You and Zim were on pancake duty.
Yep.
Good pancakes. Nice,
Thank you.
Thick, fluffy pancakes.
They were very thick, yeah.
And someone used half the maple syrup, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It was a bit of a mellow day because we need to regroup from last night.
We need to sort of recharge the batteries because we were going to have some of us were going to have a big last night.
Yeah.
Because
correct.
Zim was going to drive and Michael was going to drive, so they weren't going to really do too much in the drinks department.
Yeah.
So yeah, mellow day. We went to the beach again.
That was a good, nice little beach day. I don't know what you were doing. Were you reading a book on the beach?
I was not reading a book. Or was that?
Wait,
I'm
5.
so lost. Okay, yeah. No, I was just lying there, just relaxing, man. Because I had shocking hay fever and it was awful. But I was just listening to some tunes, just lying there. You guys weren't out there for too long. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't look like the greatest in terms of the waves and stuff.
It wasn't bad, but it was good. It was good.
And then that was that. We went home.
We went home, cleaned ourselves up.
And I mean, this was when we all woke up pretty late on that third day. So by the time we were done at the beach, it was like 5:30.
Yeah.
And ready to go home and have dinner. We had it wasn't an early dinner, but we got the nachos going, the guacamole. Zim did a very good job of that again.
Well done, Zim.
There was actually a few people on the nachos, so well done.
Yeah. Collective.
All of that. It was a good effort. Again, tunes going. It was just, I don't know, we were ready to go. The rest of us were ready to go for a big night, besides Eric and Michael. I mean,
correct.
Yes, Eric and Michael. And then the rest of it is a bit unclear to me, to be perfectly honest with you.
Do you want me to run you through it?
Yeah.
So, if I'm being perfectly honest, you were having a few drinks, but you weren't quite there. And I was like, you know what's going to get us over?
Quiplash was.
Yeah, hold on. I'm getting there.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
All right, so
mixes and all that.
Yeah, you weren't quite there, but I knew you wanted to have a big night. And I'm like, you know what? Let's bring out the lime cordial and let's bring out
cordial. And you didn't hold back on the vodka. And then I poured my own drink and I didn't hold back either. And I'm
No,
like,
because you didn't know how to
whoa.
do the rations.
Yeah, I didn't do the rations. Well, that's because the first drink kind of knocked me out of it a little bit. And then I
Yeah.
went to do my own one and
So
stuffed it.
as we're playing Quiplash from about 8 to 9:30, Arages is downing lime cordial with like too much vodka, and that's when shit starts getting a bit silly. We play another game of hide and seek, and we're like, it's about 12 o'clock, and we're thinking maybe this is the way we end our week at Venus Bay, but no. As we're
Well,
starting,
this I do remember. There's parts that are very, very vivid. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm the vivid parts are me walking around trying to find people in hide and seek that we
Yep.
play after Quiplash. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember the heat from that closet when I opened it and all of you were in there was horrific. Like it was so hot. And like I opened it, it was like poof, and I was like, poof. All of you were in the closet. I remember sitting down on the bed, head in hands, and I was like, whoever's in this room right now, I'm going to have a proper man-to-man with you. And there's 6 of you in the closet. Whoa. And then that was the last game we played.
It was, yes.
And
correct.
you guys were just hanging out on the bed and stuff in that back room.
Yeah. And then you know what happened? I go, where's the Rages? I checked every room. I'm like, he's not here. Podgy's like, let me help you. So we go check every room again, and I can't find you. And where were you?
Well, I was very hot. It was boiling. Had the shirt off though, and like the rig was out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for a walk. And I didn't really know where I was gonna walk to, but I went outside. I've walked down the step. I've avoided that first step because I'm somewhat still a little bit there enough to know to avoid that first step that Podsy definitely jumped on too hard and absolutely knocked it off its hinges. Anyway, I walked down the step and I'm looking out across the road and there's 2 figures on the street under the street light. And I'm like, it's a dream or something. And they're just standing there and they're stumbling around a little bit. And I can't remember what I said exactly, but it was something along the lines of, hey. In that voice as well. I was like, hey.
Yeah. Hey.
And then they were like, they were whispering. I was like, who's that? Who's that? I was like, I can hear you. And they were like, oh. And then they were like, who are you? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was walking towards them. They were walking towards me. We're stumbling towards each other.
Yeah.
And they both grab on to each of my arms. And I'm like, what's going on? And one of them's got a flashlight in my face. I'm like, what's going on?
God, Jesus.
Like, what's your name? We won't say their names, but they, tell us their names. And one of them's like, I really need to go to the toilet. And I was like, okay, you can come and use our toilet if you want. And then she was like, okay, can I? And I was like, yeah. So when we went up the stairs, I said, look out, that's the broken step, don't step on that. And we went inside. And I remember stumbling through the front door. I was sort of leading them in, so I stumbled through. And I think you were there. I can't remember who was there.
I was there and Podsy was trailing behind. But as you've come in, you're like, hey. And then as you move, 2 girls emerge. And I'm like,
what's happening here?
Hey.
And then I remember leading one of them to the toilet. Here's the toilet. And then while I'm there, because it's sort of towards the back, I go into the back room. And I can't remember what I said. And I don't remember if I said anything, but everyone started coming out after I poked my head in the door at the back where everyone else was. Everyone started coming out. And then they realized, everyone stopped. They walked out and they stopped dead in the hallway when they realized there's, a girl next to them going to the toilet. Well, she's about to go to the toilet. And another girl standing there at the front. And then we debrief. Then it's debrief time. So that we go to the big table and we all sit down. Here, have a seat. Here, have some water, blah, 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 blah. And then I don't really know what happened from there.
We chatted for a bit. One thing I did want to throw in there because not really much happened before we left to go to their house. But I was on a FaceTime call with Christina. And one of the chicks walks in and goes, oh, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey, this is my girlfriend, Christina. Do you want to say hi? She's like, oh, hey, Tori. How you going?
Tori? You said she called her Sandra.
Yeah, no, I regrouped. It was Tori.
Tori.
Called her Tori. Christina was like, oh, great.
Fantastic.
Wasn't
Obviously
too
under
far.
threat.
Under
And
siege.
you had to make a siege of spirits, and you had to make sure Chrissy still knew that there's
I was there
absolutely
for
nothing going on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we left our house to go to their house. A little bit of a nice little walk, and we get to their house. And do you remember much of at their house or not?
I remember I remember the walk because I like by that point I decided which one, you know what I mean.
Yeah, go on.
I
Yeah,
sort of
know
had to
what you
pick, and we were holding on for dear life. We were both out of it. She says she's 19, I'm 20. You know, she's holding on. We're moving. All right, she's in her bare feet for some reason. Anyway, we're walking. I think I was holding some. I had a drink or something. And we're walking. I remember giving her my thongs, so I'm walking on rocks, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's such a bad idea. Why did I do that?" I wanted to take her. Give me those. I need those. Anyway, I remember walking there, and I remember on the way there they were telling us about their friend,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Great." They're like, "She's asleep," and then my new mate, was like, "We can't." She like looked at me like proper in the eyes, and she was like, "We can't wake her up. Can't wake her up." And I was like, "Jeez." So I was like, "We got to go in like quietly, right?" And we go in, and someone turns the speaker on and puts like the left fucking music on that they can find, and it's blasting. Anyway, out comes the mate, meets everybody. I think does she something like that?
Not really. I saw her, but yeah.
We're dancing around, being a bit silly. And then that's about it.
I'll tell you what I remember. I'll tell you what I remember from
But
the
there's
walk.
a little bit of like,
Podsy was talking to one of the chicks. Oh, hello.
yeah,
Hello.
no, we're good.
Podsy was talking to one of the chicks, and me and Brayden said, "You know what Brayden exactly said to me?"
Wait, is this allowed to be said?
He basically said he'll give him. He's like, "I'll give him props if he, gets with her."
Okay.
But what else was said when we were there that night, when Podsy was still talking to that girl? He goes, "I'm putting 100 on North."
Who, Braden?
No, Zim. As we got to the house, Zim goes, "I'm putting 100 on North." Podsy hooks up with this chick.
So, I remember we were outside, so we danced for a bit, being a bit silly. And then I think she said she was felt a bit dizzy or whatever. So I was like, "Do you want to go outside?" She was like, "Yeah, okay." So we'll go outside. We'll sit down for a bit, and we'll just chatting. A little bit of touchy feely, having a chat. And you guys are still inside. Doof music happening. Mate's not happy because she's awoken from her slumber. And I didn't really know what was happening inside at this point, and I haven't really been filled in on what was happening inside at this point. Was it just dancing?
It was just dancing. There was nothing much. Me and Michael stole all their bananas, and Braden stole all like $50 worth of crude.
Like, wasn't me. So there you go. You heard it here first. And then, so did you just like, was it just dancing? And
it was just
at that
dancing.
point, you were just sort of like,
we're like, let's leave him to it.
Was Podsy doing anything? Was he getting up to any mischief?
I don't. I've got something I want to say, but okay.
Say it, and I'll decide.
All right. We're all dancing, and one of the girls was dancing like just with all of us, and she was getting a bit too close to comfort with Geordie. And as she's kind of like trying to get closer to Geordie pulls out the invisible chair as she goes tumbling over the couch.
Geordie didn't want any of that. He's happily married. Same with Zim.
Geordie didn't want to have any of it. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
She seemed sort of not keen on Zim, but she was definitely barking up Zim's tree at some point.
Yeah. Other than that, it was mostly just dancing, and then we decided to leave.
Yeah.
But before we left, we saw something that'll go down in history, something that needed to be seen to believe it. Yeah. Something that it was a miracle on grass, really.
Oh no. Tell us, man. Don't leave us in that.
I'm gonna leave you sitting there. No. We saw Ethan Podsy Mullinger having a pash, having a make out, having a sesh with one of the chicks that we met. And we were like,
100 on North.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. And there was 100 on North.
There was
Ethan Podsy Mullinger. And I want everyone to know, I'm going to come in nice and close to this bit because I want everyone to know the best part about all of that was that he was wearing his Janitors and Co basketball uniform and it said Posy 33 on the back while he was making out with his girl. And I can tell you, it wasn't just making out. It got a lot worse after this lot left. And I I can't remember if I probably asked Podsy whether, like, what he wants to be shared and stuff.
I think we should probably leave the other stuff out.
But they left. Pudsey and this other girl ramped it up a little bit. That's all we'll say. Me and my mate, we went to the back. We went to the bedroom. Nothing. Actually, hang on. So we're on the front porch. We get up and we go for a walk. And go walk. She was like, "I'll show you around the outside of the house," because they actually have a bit going on, like around the back of the house. So we walked around the back. And we were just sitting there. They had, I'll say, an inflatable piece of equipment.
An inflatable mannequin.
Yeah, not sure what he was doing there, but anyway,
Hey.
I was like, "Who invited you?" And then I like stomped on his head, and I think he like popped a little bit. Like, "Oh, sorry, man." Yeah, and then we're just chilling. And then I just was like super smooth with it, man. And I'm not sure where it came from because I was still like fully out of it, like still thinking about where I'd left Bullseye, my pool cue, the horse. And we were just talking about how we haven't had too much before, blah, 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 blah. And then we had a little kiss and it was really nice. And it was like at the back. No one was looking. Perfect. And then we go back inside to the bedroom. She's lost her phone. I've lost my thongs. So it's like, we have to get back inside, but we don't want to interrupt what's happening inside because obviously there's a bit of ruckus. Podsy's just being cute.
So cute.
So cute. Yeah, well, long story short, we had to leave. I had to say, "Hey, Pudsy, we got to go, man. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. Well, you're going to be here all night, and then I'm not going to know what to do." So we found her phone. We found my thongs. We left. I got a Snapchat. Pudsy didn't get anything, and I'm not sure what are you doing? So then it was up to me to get my mate, chat to her a bit, and be like, "Hey, what's your mate's Snapchat?" And we got that for Podsy eventually, and Podsy's doing his thing now. So well done to Podsy, and well done. I'm just gonna say it right now, man. Well done to me.
Yeah.
Because without me stumbling out the front door, we would never have had as wild of a night as that.
Yeah.
So well done to us.
Well done to you.
Well done to Podsy as well. Well done, Podsy.
Well done, Podsy.
Good work, Podsy. Podsy, baby.
Podsy, baby.
So that's basically the trip in a nutshell. There's gorier details, but obviously there's we've got to.
It was just the gist of it. It
It
was an eventful one.
Keep it nice. So I would just say,
keep going.
Anyway, I needed that, is what I'm trying to say. Me and Podsy needed that.
Very good.
So I'm looking at this, and I've written down progressively more drunk across nights 1, 2, and 3, and I'm pretty sure that was just for me. So I started like, me and Michael walking up the hills talking about constellations and stuff, a little bit drunk. Second night, holding my chest, a bit butthurt that Geordie Stu told me he said F you to me, full on, don't argue to the chest, I'm standing in his piss. Okay. And then night 3, that whole debacle, progressively worse. And I wanted to make a ratings sort of system here for people that weren't there, for reference, people's overall rating performance, I suppose, of alcohol consumption. Is that what we're gonna?
I think that's what we're doing.
That.
Kill it.
I'll rank you, man. You can rank me, and then together as a collective, we'll rank everyone else. Okay. Now you said, on the second night, I think this
second
was.
Night.
This was the pub night.
Pub night, yeah.
You're like I'm gonna get like smashed tonight, like proper smashed. Like, come on. And guess what, man? You didn't get smashed. I don't even know what you were doing.
I did get a little bit drunk, but I didn't get smashed.
No, that was SOS.
I'll tell you how many I had. I actually had a fair few to drink, but it spread out to the point where it didn't matter how many I had.
Because you had like 4 or 5.
I had 5
drinks
before we went out to dinner. I had 5 drinks before we went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And then I had 4 drinks when we played the game. And then after that, I had like 1 drink.
Yeah. And I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I was trying to like, yeah. So that was a bit disappointing. So out of 10, man, overall, based on you saying that, also based on you pretty much being sober last night, I don't know what that was about.
No, I was a little bit drunk last night. The first night I was not feeling great.
First night was probably your worst, wasn't it?
It probably was my worst, yeah.
That was the night we were lying down on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. That was the one.
So out of 10, I'm gonna have to give you like a 5, man.
5.
Because you told me the second night that you're gonna get like smashed.
Yeah, I know. I'm not like giving myself props or anything, but I really thought that me having those 5 drinks before we went out to dinner would get me like really fucking.
Well, it was a decent meal at the pub, and that probably had
it was.
I'm guessing that probably had.
Look, I'll tell you what I did. I reckon I had the right amount of drinks. I didn't time them right.
Bad timing.
In my opinion.
Like
bad timing.
You played the right shot, but you just didn't quite time it well. And
I didn't quite time it right. It was a white release, yeah. Like I'm hit. Like it was a
I'm
great
talking about cricket.
shot.
You're talking about basketball.
Yeah,
now you're trying to talk about cricket.
Fine, fuck you. Fine. I reckon a 6 at least.
All right, I'll bump it up to a 6-1.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sam for getting bang average.
Bang average. You. It's a 2, mate. No. First night. You were pretty good first night, I think, in terms of drinking.
I was a bit out of it.
You were a little bit out of it.
When I was walking up the hill with Michael in the stars, I sort of knew what was going on.
Yeah, okay. Second night. You were pretty good as well. I reckon your second night was the same as my first night, in my opinion. But your third night superseded most.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah,
I knew when I was sat there on the bed, head in hands, while you 6 were in the closet, and I was saying I was going to have a man-to-man with whoever was in that room, that there was something wrong with me at that point in time. And now I listened back to the voice message that I sent to the chat, and it's like, bad.
Fuck me.
I was gonna bring it up, the voice message, but I won't. Yeah.
For John only. In terms of your overall rating, I really liked your effort on the third night, and I really liked your effort on the second night. So, and it wasn't something I was expecting. I was honestly expecting you to have quite 3 nights, to be honest. So I'm going to give you a 9. Well done, my friend.
9. And I reckon like that last night really
brought you. You were sitting at a comfortable 8, I reckon, or maybe even a 7.5, and you were just like, nah, let's just.
I was sitting there, arms crossed all afternoon on that third day after Zim said, "Oh, it's packed," when we got to the pub on the second night, and there was absolutely no one there, and I wasn't happy. And the third day, I was just flat as a tack. And then all of a sudden, I got some drinks in me, got going, had a bit of fun, and then I opened the door, and they're dancing in the moonlight, as you might say.
All right, so Sam 6, 8 and 9. All right, who's next?
6, you give me a 9. Michael. I want to do Michael. Now, because this is an interesting one. He went hard on that first night with the Vegemite jocks tumbling down the hill.
That was good. That was a good.
Etc. etc. So that will bump it up. The second one, he went really hard on SOS, failed, but he still went hard. Yeah. Yeah. And that third night, it was just.
Well, what do we do with the third night with the drivers? Because they didn't really get to do much.
No, but it's like still, man. I don't care that you're a driver. At least like get something here.
All right.
Look at my face right now. Does it look like I care? No, absolutely not. So I want to give Michael. Actually, no. Okay, we'll take driving into consideration. I'm going to give Michael I want to give him a 9 as well, or an 8.5.
I was thinking between 8.5 and 9. Do we give out 0.5s or not? Nah, only whole numbers.
Yeah, 9. We'll give you a 9, Michael, because I know you had more to give.
Yeah, but you couldn't, and we understand that.
All right. Bray Hazard. Not going to lie, be disappointed, to be honest.
First night, set the bar for himself.
I can't really remember too much of that first night. Like who
I remember
he was
him.
doing what.
Yeah, he was pretty tipsy. I'll give him that.
Bit out
Oh,
of it. What was the second night? It was pub night.
no,
I don't think there was too much, and last night not that much either.
nothing really. Not much.
Man, I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking like a 3 or a 4.
I was gonna say a 4.
If we're generous.
I was gonna say
go
4.
Go with 4, get him down. Who we got to come? Zimmy and Podsy Adley.
And Geordie.
Oh, wait, didn't we do? No, we didn't do Geordie. We did Michael and Geordie. We'll do Geordie.
Jordan.
First night. I think everyone was sort of on the same level on the first night, bar Michael, who went a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Stu, first night, decent. Second night,
plenty to give, and he gave it.
He won. I mean, when you win at SOS, there's not really much more.
There's not really much else you can give.
Yeah, you are
well
the
done.
pinnacle of mankind at that point. Third
Last
night,
bit more quiet actually.
Was he?
What did we do last night? Yeah, no,
was he as a genuine question because I don't know.
Oh no, he was a bit more quiet, but
okay.
That second night.
But he's won SOS, and he's gone absolutely massive, and he's pissed himself. He's like, I've got to give him overall, like at least a 7, I reckon.
I was gonna go an 8. There's no way that he's only one above me.
All right, I'll say 8. Well done, Joe. You pissing yourself's really lifted that score as well. So congrats on that. Zimmer,
Alex.
I feel like he wanted to play into the dad role,
yeah.
And so he didn't really let loose because Zimmer, like, I haven't seen you fully out of it, man, but I've seen you fully out of it in live videos and stuff, man. He didn't give everything he could give. In saying that, he was a driver as well, so take that into consideration.
Take that last night into a little bit of consideration.
I think he went pretty much as hard as the rest of us on the first night, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm trying to remember that first night. Yeah, the second night. There was one night. It was the second night that he was. Was it the first night?
Second night was SOS.
First night he was pretty good.
Good as in,
like he was doing bits. I remember.
All right. Well, first night doing bits. Second night SOS. I think he did a bit better than we thought, because after the game was done, when we were sitting outside, he had like a couple of shots and stuff, so he did quite well. I want to give him like a 7.
I'll give him a 7 as well. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Podsy, darling Podsy, baby. I can't, because his first 2 were putrid, weren't they? Because we really wanted to get him going.
They were really bad.
Like, you stunk it up, Podsy. I know you're listening to this right now. You stunk it up the first 2 nights. And he wasn't happy either. It got to like 9:30. He was losing Quiplash and he cracked it. Fully cracked it. Got off the couch, threw some stuff. Wasn't happy camp up, Podsy. Little did he know the next 4 hours of his life were going to be the best yet. But anyway, he had a putrid first 2 nights. He had to have gone.
He did. He was pretty sober. He wasn't that sober, but he was.
Actually, no. I remember telling him we got to go. And I reckon if he had a lot of alcohol in his system, he wouldn't have listened to me. Because Pudsey, personality-wise, I can tell. If you were drunk then, Pudsey, you wouldn't have came when I said, we got to go. You would have continued to do your thing. So, putrid first 2 nights is going to drag that down a long way. And you're saying he wasn't even that drunk on the 3rd night. But he did bits on the 3rd night.
I know. Do we take that into consideration?
I don't know, man. It's on you for this last one.
No, it's on you.
No, it's on you. Man, I wasn't even like there, man. I was in the bedroom, like, looking at Harry Potter keys.
I want to give it. What do you think? Give me a range.
I'm thinking like 4 to 5.
I was going to give him a 5.
Pudsey, I'll give you a 5 based on that last night. If you were that sober on the last night and you didn't do what you did, I'd be giving you like a 1 to have that. But I'll give you a 5, so well done. Kudos to Pudsey. He actually did very well.
All right. So are we happy with these scores? Sam 6, 8 and 9, Michael 9, Braden 4, Jordan 8, Alex 7, Ethan 5. Or do you want to do some shifting?
That's fine. I reckon I could probably be taken down to an 8. But, you know, man, it is what it is. It's the way of the road. It's what you gave me, man.
No, you know what? No, we're going to give you 8. Now that I think about it, when I compare you to Michael.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration the last night.
Yeah, that's a bit stiff.
What up, Michael?
We're gonna bring you down to an 8. We're gonna bring you down to an 8.
Okay. There we go.
All right.
Oh, there's your rankings. Pudsey was having one of the all-time stinkers. Lifted. Bray Hazard. I needed a bit more from him. Wasn't too bad. Geordie Stew, excellent on one of the nights. Overall, solid. You, inconsistent.
You reckon? I was pretty consistently average.
Inconsistent or consistently average, whatever you want.
Okay, fine.
Me, kudos. Michael, kudos. Zimmerman, I understand you wanted to play to the day.
You had potential, but you still did. You still got your 20 and probably 1 goal.
I needed more out of you, and now you've ended up with having to put 100 on North. So have that. You're fraud.
Well done. Is that all time we got? All time we got 4?
Well, all have you got like unpopular opinions for me, man?
Fuck that. Let's go. No, I'm not doing it. We'll save it for next week.
Give me 1.
Fine.
Yes, to kill it now, though.
Do it.
Unpopular opinions. You will disagree. Unpopular opinions. Oh, that's a guarantee.
You can put that in there.
Unpopular opinions.
You will disagree. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll say it at the end. All right. I'll give you one unpopular opinion. It's if I've learned anything from this trip, it's that being passenger in a car is way better than driving. That's an unpopular opinion.
Well, I haven't driven like a really long distance, so I can't.
Okay, well, you're probably not the best person to talk to.
I enjoy. If I'm in charge of the music, it's good fun.
Yeah.
If I have to sit there and listen to someone's putrid playlist,
no, thank you.
Like, I'm sorry.
Also, so I reckon
NBA fantasy, that's got to be put away in the car rides. I'm sorry, but there's like that's an anytime sort of thing. Anytime goal scorer.
Anytime goal scorer.
But overall, my trip and back as a passenger, very good.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
So everyone involved, great trip, great stories.
Just a quick before we wrap up, one little thing. Do you have who's your BT hero of the week?
From the trip?
From the trip, or just a moment, or just anyone, does anything.
Oh,
say it on 3. Say it on 3. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Pudsey Adelaide.
What up,
Pudsey Adelaide.
From 0 to hero.
0 to hero. And doing it in the job uniform, like that's
so much class.
For me, that's like it doesn't get better than that. Doing it in the job uniform. Well done, Pudsey.
Well done. All right. Absolute ripper.
Yeah, well done. All right, well, I think that's all I've got time for, man. Like, according to my watch here, probably gonna have to wrap this one up. We've got, according to the guest list, we've got a big guest next week, and you don't know who it is because, like, you just don't look at the guest list at all, man. But like, we've got big guests, and next week's gonna be a really big one, so you don't want to miss that. Spotify, YouTube, subscribe and follow. Hit the bell for notifications.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
Follow us on Instagram. More fun.
Let us know how we went. Let us know this new little mic setup as well, because I'm not too sure about it. And let us know in the DMs. Just anything, man. Just anything you want.
Anything about life. Stories, anything. All right. Well, may the bare necessities of life come to you, Rages.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.